Now our next point would be to find the value of IM, that is to calculate the value of current. Now how to find this value of current? To find this value of current, let us consider superposition theorem. We will use superposition theorem to find the current. Okay. We use superposition theorem when we have more than one energy source present in a circuit. Okay. How many sources I have? I have 30 volts, I have 18 volts. So what we will do is, we will consider 30 volt source, remove the other energy source. In this case it's 18 volts. Since it's a voltage source, I will short it. Redraw my circuit. Okay. 20 ohms, 10 ohms, you will short it because it's a voltage source. I'll show it with a different color. You have shorted it over here. Okay. And what do you do to your load terminals? Your load terminals, if there was a resistor, you would remove that resistor and you would place a short. Now your job is to find the current in this short with this source only present in my circuit. That current I will call it as IN1 because it is due to the first source of 30 volts. Now one thing what I would like to add is, for the given original circuit, you have to assume the directions of currents. So let us assume this to be left to right, and top to down. This is the thing that has to be done as initially. You assume the directions of currents across the resistors. Now if the assumptions are not right, that will be reflected in your final answer. There is no need to worry. Now we have to calculate this IN1 with this source only present in my circuit. So let us have a discussion on that. Now see, current coming from a 30 volt source, I call it as I. It will come over here. Okay. It will divide itself into two parts. The one through short, I call it as an IN1. The one through my 10 ohms resistor, I call it as I dash. Your job is to find IN1 that is of interest to you. So let us analyze that. Now if I just have a look at the circuit over here, current coming from a voltage source, it will reach over here. This is my node X, this is my node Y. Your current has to go from node X to node Y. That is what is supposed to be happening. Now if you check in a circuit, there are two paths for it to go from X to Y. That is one via the short and one is my 10 ohms resistor. Now I will tell you that the current will directly flow from X through Y through the short. It will not opt for this resistor path. Okay, I will mark with cancel. It will not opt for this resistive path. Now why? The current has to go from X to Y. There is directly a short. A short is said to be a resistance of 0 ohms. The alternative path is a resistance of 10 ohms. So if we try to analyze in terms of resistance, through the short the resistance is minimum compared through this resistor. So your current always uses the path of least resistance, so it will use this short. So what will happen is, if I redraw my circuit over here, my circuit is like this. Okay, this is 30 volts, this is 20, and this is my short. So this is IN1, which I have to find. So this circuit of mine reduces to this. So I have to find my IN1, which is the same as current coming from my source, which is same as current I in this case. So I is equal to IN1. Okay. And for this circuit, if you notice, to find the current, I can directly use ohms law, V by R, where V is 30 volts, current is 20. So it comes to be around 1.5 amperes. This is 1.5. Now, this magnitude has to be given a sign, plus or minus. There has to be a sign assigned to it. How to assign sign? I have to compare this direction in the short over here is flowing from top to down across x and y. This direction with the original direction that I have assumed. If you notice over here also it's flowing from top to down, here it's flowing from top to down. So this will change to plus. This is plus 1.5. So the current I in 1 turns out to be plus 1.5 amperes due to my 30 volts source. Next, I have to find the current in the same terminals x and y with the second source already present in my circuit. That we will see now. Now, we are going to find the current in this short just considering my 18 volts source. So what I've done now is I've kept 18 volt source, and the first source, which was actually 30 volts, I have removed it. Since it's a voltage source, across the points of connection I have placed a short. Okay. Now, this on the terminals where Y is connected, I have to find current through the short that is present over here. So let us analyze circuit. The current coming from my source, I call it as I. At this junction X, it has to go to Y. There are two options. X, it can directly go to the short, or it can use this resistance of 20 ohms. So this short can be considered to be a resistor of 0 ohms, and this part is a resistance of 20 ohms. So if my current wants to go from X to Y, it can go through 0 ohms or it can go through 20 ohms. Always understand that a current will take the path of least resistance, so my current is going to flow through my short. So this circuit will change to, this circuit I have drawn it again because this resistor will not contain flow of current. Okay, so I am marking it as cross. This is my reduced circuit which is there over here. Okay, now the current is going to flow over here like this, and I want to find my IN1. So if you notice, if I use my Ohm's law, V by R, this V will be 18, this resistance will be 10 of this part, so current is 1.8 amperes. Now, this current has to be assigned a sign either plus or minus. Now how to assign that sign? To assign that sign, this direction, which is currently downwards across the terminals X and Y, has to be compared with the assumed direction across my original circuit, that is across this X and Y. In both the cases, the current is downwards. So this sign changes to plus, meaning you have to opt for the plus sign. So the answer is plus 1.8 is your iron. In this case, we will call this as iron 2. Okay, iron 2 is 1.8. Now, how do you get this fine current? If I consider now iron, we have two energy sources. That is the current in the short, because of the first energy source, I call it as iron 1. So final iron will be plus or minus iron 1. And the current due to my second energy source, that is considering only 18 volts, was iron 2. So it is plus or minus iron 2. So whatever you got the value of iron 1, put it over here, plus this. The value of iron 2, you add it over here. So the final answer for your iron that is supposed to put over here is the algebraic sum. If both are positive, the answer will be plus. If one is negative, what will happen is whichever is more stronger. If the positive is more stronger, the answer will be plus. If the negative is more stronger, the answer will be minus. Having a minus sign doesn't affect, only thing, it doesn't indicate that your answer is wrong. It only indicates that whatever is the direction of current over here, okay, whatever you have taken, has to be changed. So if your answer is plus, when you're showing the current source, you have to show it in the upward direction. If your current comes to be minus, you have to show it in the downward direction. So this sign will determine which are the two directions you give over here.